The government has recognized more than 55,200 startups during financial year 2025 to 26, marking the highest number of startups recognized in a single year since the launch of the Startup India initiative. This growth shows that entrepreneurship is expanding rapidly in the country. It also reflects the role of government support, better access to funding, and increasing interest from investors in India's startup space. Overall, this achievement highlights a positive shift towards a more innovation-driven and job-creating economy. Startup India Initiative background and objectives. The Startup India Initiative was launched in January 2016 with the aim of building a strong ecosystem for startups across the country. It is implemented by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, DPIIT, and focuses on promoting innovation and entrepreneurship across sectors, reducing regulatory burden for new businesses, encouraging private investment in startups, creating large-scale employment opportunities, supporting India's transition from a job-seeking to a job-creating economy. Overall growth of startups in India. India's startup ecosystem has shown rapid and consistent expansion. More than 2.23 lakh startups have been recognized as of March 31, 2026. These startups have generated over 23.36 lakh direct jobs. More than 1.07 lakh recognized startups have at least one woman director or partner, accounting for approximately 48% of total recognized startups. Startup recognition increased by 51.6% in FY 2025 to 26 compared to FY 2024 to 25. Direct employment increased by 36.1% during the same period. Year-wise comparison. In FY 2024 to 25, around 36,400 plus startups were recognized. In FY 2025 to 26, the number increased to 55,200 plus startups. Direct jobs increased from 3,66,870 plus to 4,99,400 plus. This sharp rise indicates a maturing startup ecosystem with stronger institutional and financial support. Regional spread of startups in India. Startups are no longer limited to metropolitan cities. They are now present across all states and union territories, reflecting geographical inclusivity. Leading states in startup ecosystem are Maharashtra, 38,660 plus startups and 4,13,900 plus jobs. Karnataka, 22,600 plus startups and 2,46,000 plus jobs. Uttar Pradesh, 21,960 plus startups and 2,11,580 plus jobs. Delhi, 21,120 plus startups and 236,640 plus jobs. Gujarat, 19,270 plus startups and 2,14,800 plus jobs. Other emerging startup hubs include Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Haryana, Kerala, and Rajasthan. This distribution highlights the decentralization of innovation beyond traditional economic centers. Government support for Indian startup ecosystem. The government continues to support startups through flagship schemes including the Fund of Funds for Startups, FFS, Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, SISFs, and Credit Guarantee Scheme for Startups, CGSS, providing financial support at various stages of the startup life cycle. Fund of Funds for Startups, FFS. The Fund of Funds for Startups, FFS, is one of the most significant flagship initiatives under the Startup India program. It is designed to mobilize large-scale private capital for startups by investing in venture capital funds rather than directly funding startups. The scheme is managed by the Small Industries Development Bank of India, SIDBI. It has a total corpus of 10,000 Indian rupees crore. Instead of directly investing in startups, the fund invests in alternative investment funds, AIFs, registered with the Securities and Exchange Board of India. These AIFs, in turn, invest in startups across different sectors and stages. Progress and achievements. More than 7,000 Indian rupees crore has been dispersed to over 135 alternative investment funds. These AIFs have collectively invested more than 26,900 Indian rupees crore in over 1,420 startups. This model has helped in multiplying capital availability, ensuring that startups receive funding from both public and private sources. To further strengthen startup financing, the government has introduced Startup India Fund of Funds 2.0, with an expanded corpus. The objective is to deepen venture capital penetration in emerging sectors such as deep technology, artificial intelligence, and clean energy. Significance: encourages institutional participation in startup funding, reduces direct fiscal burden on the government, enhances availability of risk capital for high-growth startups. Credit Guarantee Scheme for Startups, CGSS. The Credit Guarantee Scheme for Startups, CGSS, is aimed at improving access to debt financing for startups, especially those that lack collateral or credit history. Provides collateral-free credit support to eligible startups. Implemented through eligible financial institutions with risk coverage from a government-backed trust. The guarantee cover per borrower has been increased from 10 Indian rupees crore to 20 Indian rupees crore, significantly enhancing funding capacity. Performance highlights. By FY 2025 to 26, more than 410 loans have been guaranteed under the scheme. The total loan value guaranteed exceeds 1,250 Indian rupees crore, reflecting increased lender confidence in startup financing. Impact: improves credit flow to early and growth stage startups, reduces dependency on equity dilution, encourages banks and financial institutions to actively lend to startups. Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, SISFs. The Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, SISFs, focuses on supporting startups at the most critical early stage when they are often unable to access external funding. The scheme aims to provide financial assistance to startups for developing a proof of concept, building prototypes of products or services, supporting initial market entry and validation. The scheme has a total corpus of 945 Indian rupees crore, which has been fully committed. Around 219 incubators have been selected across India. These incubators act as intermediaries, identifying and supporting eligible startups. More than 605 Indian rupees crore has been approved for funding to over 3,400 startups. The scheme ensures that early-stage innovators receive structured mentorship along with financial assistance. Significance: addresses the valley of death in early-stage startup funding. Promotes innovation at the grassroots level. Strengthens the role of incubators in the startup ecosystem. Encourages inclusive regional development of entrepreneurship. Role of Government e-Marketplace, GeM, in supporting startups. The Government e-Marketplace, GeM, has emerged as an important platform to promote startup participation in public procurement. More than 38,600 startups have been onboarded on GeM, enabling them to directly supply goods and services to government departments. Key trends: FY 2024 to 25 to FY 2025 to 26. The number of startups on board on GeM increased from 5,140 plus to 6,540 plus, showing wider inclusion of startups in government procurement. The total number of orders placed to startups rose from 1,19,620 plus to 1,40,260 plus, indicating growing trust in startup-led solutions. The total value of orders increased significantly from 14,103 Indian rupees crore to 19,190 Indian rupees crore, reflecting higher financial opportunities for startups. Significance: provides startups with assured market access through government demand. Reduces entry barriers for startups in government procurement processes.